What's going on, family? Back on here with the Juke, man. And today we're going to be talking about the trade deadline. The Giants made no moves at the trade deadline. Is it surprising? Is it shocking? We're going to be talking about that today. But before we dive in, make sure you subscribe down below, man. Road to 1K is still active. We passed Road to 100. Road to 1K is active. Make sure you like it down below and comment what you think about the Giants moves. But let's dive straight into it. So Tuesday was the trade deadline, and there was a lot of moves that were being made around the league. And one of the biggest moves that the people were anticipating and waiting on was the Giants going to get a receiver. I voiced in the Kadarius Toney trade video. If you haven't seen that, make sure you watch that video. But I voiced in that we need to replace him, and not only replace him, but just bolster this wide receiver room, because we were kind of counting on him to come back. And he's not coming back now, obviously. He got traded away. And the Giants didn't make any moves. The wide receiver market was pretty stout because I feel like a lot of teams needed some receivers, and some people were holding on to receivers because of injuries. I really just wanted the Giants to make a certain move just to add somebody to give Jones another weapon and see what we can do going on through the season. One of the main things that people are going to look at, and some people are going to hate Joe Schoen for this. I'm not going to hate on him completely. If you ask me, I did want a receiver. But am I going to hate on him not trading for one? No. Teams are not built through trading. Like, you don't trade for a player and that's how you build your team. Yes, it's good when you trade for a player when you're just missing one piece. But when you have so many holes like the Giants do, you don't trade for that. Yes, the team is playing well right now. And do I expect them to continue to play well? Yes. I don't think that they're going to waver now because we didn't trade for a receiver that we're going to suck. I don't even think the management thinks that themselves. I don't think Joe Schoen thinks that. But all in all, like, we are rebuilding. You got to remember that. And it sucks. It sucks to hear this, because I'm still on the bandwagon that I want to win as much games as we can. And I still want to. If it's up to me, I want to go win the Super Bowl. But we still have a bad cap situation right now. We are still rebuilding in terms of getting new offensive linemen, getting new defensive players. There's going to be some guys that are going to be off this team next year that are on the team right now. So trading some assets to get a receiver right now, how much better does that really make us? I wanted a receiver because I just felt like this 6-2 start, you can't waste it. I don't expect Joe Schoen to really look at it in terms of, okay, we're 6-2, but we shouldn't really be 6-2, so let's not make any moves. I don't think of it that way. I know a lot of people are going to be mad at him for not making those moves, and I'm not going to lie, I was salty because I just want to be in on the parade. Like, everybody was trading for guys. You've seen the Eagles. You've seen the Cowboys. You look at teams like, honestly, what shocked me was the Bears. The Bears traded for Chase Claypool. But something you got to look at, which I'm glad we didn't make a move like that, they traded a second rounder for Chase Claypool. If you guys didn't know, Chase Claypool was drafted in the second round. So he was drafted in the second round. He had a decent rookie year. Everyone could say that it was good. Like, everyone thought his career arc was heading up this way. And his second year, he fell off. And you can look at the stats right now. Chase Claypool is not all that right now. And he went for a second rounder. Somebody that I wanted in Jerry Jeudy, I would argue that he's better, more polished of a receiver and higher upside than Chase Claypool. And he was going to cost more than a second rounder. Do we have that asset to give out? No. I would much rather just draft a wide receiver in. Granted, are they going to be as good as those receivers? We don't know. We don't know if they're going to be as good as those receivers. But I will say, if you draft a receiver, you can at least say you have him for the next 4 years under a good contract. Chase Claypool has 1 more year left on his contract, and then they're going to have to give him one. So that's just an example of some of the players. Like, if you trade for those guys, you got to take on those contracts. I will say I'm not a big fan of this whole cap space. Like, we don't have any cap space. Like, I know we don't, and I understand why we don't. In terms of contracts that were given out, we cut them, still have a cap hit, so on and so forth. I'm not an expert when it comes to cap room, but you look at some of these teams, they make it work no matter what it is. Look at the Chiefs. I don't know how they make it work. Look at the Rams last year. I don't know how they make that work. So there's ways that you can manipulate the cap to make sure it works in your favor. So I'm not really on this bandwagon for, we have no money, so we can't sign anybody. We were in the market apparently for Brandon Cooks, and he had a cap hit that I saw for like 18 mil. How? How are we in the market for Brandon Cooks if we don't even have that money? Guess what? Because there's ways you can manipulate that, and the good GMs know that. All in all, we didn't get any wide receiver. Yes, am I a little salty? I am. But I don't think they're selling on this team. I don't think they're just saying, hey, throw in the towel. Let's not focus on the rest of the season, because at least I'm glad they didn't make a dumb move in trading for a guy like Chase Claypool, giving up a second round is valuable. You look at guys we got Xavier McKinney in the second round. We just drafted Wan'Dale Robinson. I know we don't know what he's going to be yet, but Xavier McKinney is a prime example of a guy you could get in the second round. So I would much rather get a rookie in that can make an impact like Xavier McKinney. Chase Claypool was not going to fit our needs. You look at him, we already have a guy that can't separate and honestly just can't catch a ball in Kenny Golladay. I don't need another one in Chase Claypool. So I'm kind of glad they stayed away from that. I do think he was trying to get some moves in there, but all in all, nothing fell through, man. You guys let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the Giants not making any moves at the trade deadline. Yes, it's a little disappointing, and you can argue that we were sellers because we got rid of Kadarius Toney. I don't know what 6-2 team trades away a player and doesn't get a player back at all, but listen, man, all you can say is just trust in Joe Schoen. It's still 1 year. It hasn't been a couple of years, and just know we're heading into this draft possibly with 11 draft picks. This team next year is going to be a beast. We're doing it with some low-end talent right now, but if you go on next year when we actually have some cap space and we actually can go draft some people, draft a lot more people, look at what the draft class is already doing for this year. Imagine a couple of years of Joe Schoen's scouting, and Brandon Brown, you got to credit him as well. But I'm excited overall. I know it was a little downside seeing some teams trade, but I'm just glad we didn't make a dumb trade. We didn't panic, and Kenny Galladay's coming back, man. So hopefully he's going to be a big piece. I know how you feel about Kenny Galladay not doing anything, but at the end of the day, he's making all that money. Let's hope he's a little more energized and a little more motivated coming back from the bye week, and maybe he can make an impact. We're going to see what this team can do. Y'all let me know what you feel in the comments, man. And once again, before we dip out of here, subscribe down below. Road to 1K is still active. Go ahead and like up this video. Smash that like button. I got more videos for y'all to my left right here. Catch you guys in the next vid. Peace. Giants are undefeated, man. The Giants are undefeated. Clap it up. Clap it up. Yes, sir. When it comes to the most valuable player to the team, most valuable player on the best team, I think this team is in good hands. And if we are healthy, the whole East needs to be on a lookout.